Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us. Thanks for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adeba. Well, tonight on the show, we will talk about the World Athletics Championship. It hasn't been a good outing for Team Nigeria. We'll also talk about the UEFA Champions League, feast of football all over Europe. Was a good day for the Gunners, talking about Arsenal starting on a winning note away in Spain. We'll also talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League. It will get us talking on the show, and we will preview the games to be played tomorrow. That's the outlook of the show. We urge you to sit back, relax, as we take you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. This is a two-man show. My colleague, Austin Kodakwan, is suited and ready as we go along on this ride.
Well, greetings to you, Yemi, and of course, everyone joining us on the show tonight. It's always an action-packed world of sports. The UEFA Champions League is back. Oh, yes, fireworks across Europe. And of course, you mentioned the Gunners with an important win, and I've tagged it on the match again because Arsenal did give us something to talk about in the Champions League last season. Can they tell us a different story this season? We'll see. The Nigeria Premier Football League will definitely get our attention. They went to Yanagwa to sing Zobu. We'll talk about that one also on the show. So much going down in our world of sports here, man. I'm ready. If you're ready, let's go.
All right, I'm ready to go. But first, let's quickly introduce our guest with us in the Lagos studio, as always, on the Tuesday night. Kehinde Idris joins us tonight on the show. Kehinde Idris, greetings to you. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show.
It's good to be here. Good to be here every Tuesday, talk sports, and also looking at the menu. Definitely the athletics, World Athletics Championship will get my attention, but the NPFL most definitely. Ahmed Musa and what he's doing, and I must say there is a pointer to how relationship could be. Ahmed Musa and Kano Pillars, probably teams who's got those veterans coming back to play for them should learn from how Kano Pillars are treating Ahmed Musa. Give them respect, they give you class.
All right. So we'll get to that part where we'll talk about the Nigeria Premier League. But on the front burner tonight, it is the World Athletics Championship. And of course, it has divided opinion. Some were pessimistic from the start. The few ones that were optimistic got disappointed with some of the things we're seeing already. I'm going to go across in a few seconds, just reel out the performances so far from Team Nigeria athletes that, of course, will let you make up your mind on whether or not you feel it has been a dismal outing so far for Team Nigeria. All right, so let's start with the obvious, the one we all expected, and it turned out to be most probably the only thing that will make us smile from what is happening in Tokyo. Tobi Amusan in the women's 100-meter hurdles going all the way we're expecting a gold, but the silver is not bad. Get us silver in the women's 100 meters hurdles. Then you have the men's 100 meters race. The final, it wasn't what we expected, but of course, Koinsola Ajayi finished in the 6th position in Nigeria's first final in 18 years, and they clocked 10.00 seconds. Israel Okode finished 7th in the semi-final, clocking 10.14 seconds in 8.3. At least we're getting close in Nigeria in the final for the men's 100. Men's 400 meters, Chidi Okezie finishes 8th in 45.66 seconds in 8.2. Men's long jump, Charles Godfred finished 13th overall with a jump of 7.79 meters in qualification. This is one that's a bit painful for some. Men's shot put, Chukwuebuka Enekwechi finished in the 5th position with a throw of 20.83 meters in qualification. Women's 100 meters, Rosemary Shukuma finished 5th, clocking 11.27 seconds in its 2. Women's long jump, where the hopes were, Ese Brume finished 10th with a jump of 6.46 meters in qualification. Pristina Ochonogo finished 16th overall with a jump of 6.05 meters in qualification. So you have the women's discus. Chioma Oyewere Lance finished 12th with a throw of 59.45 minutes in qualification. Obiageri Amechi finished 16th with a throw of 55.69 in qualification. Women's AMA, Oyeshade Olatoye finished 10th with a throw of 68.82 in qualification. So this is the performance chart for Team Nigeria athletes. You look at the medal table after day 4. You have the United States going on strong, the 6 gold medals and 2 bronze with a total of 8. Kenya, of course, you expect them to be there. Of course, you have 3 gold medals, a silver and a bronze. Canada, 3 gold medals. They're yet to pick up silver and bronze. Nigeria in the 16th position, courtesy of that silver medal by Tobi Amusan, giving us a place on the medal table. Whether that's where we should be is another question altogether. But let me ask Austin, the all too familiar story. I can't ask you how disappointed you are because you've been disappointed like 20 years ago. But how do you feel looking at Team Nigeria's performance?
It's same old same, Yami. You cannot plant cassava and hope to, reap rice. It is the story of you reap what you sow. Let's just bless God for Tobi Amusan. We as a country can only have expectations, and then when it doesn't happen, we say, okay, we go back to it, and then we want to, fast and pray and use the same style that we used 18 years ago, and then nothing works. But I'm so happy for Tobi because I know she's a hard worker. She works so hard. So God is just saying, this girl, she is giving everything that she's got. So let me just, keep blessing her. I was almost moved to tears when she didn't make it to the final at the Olympics. It was, it was a terrible setback that would have destroyed her. But she picked herself back up, And when she did that video that went viral, I was like, no, not now, Tobi. You have a very important assignment to execute right there in Tokyo. You shouldn't be doing this now. But sometimes, we just need to speak out. And that was what she wanted to do. That what level of disrespect is this, And why is it going so... why is it going on for a very long time? So that's why I'm not surprised. I belong to a group of a lot of sports professionals, and we're debating it. And Olusoji Fashuba told us, what are we talking about? That in 2007, he was battling kit issues. That's on the final day. By the way, before Koinsola Ajayi made the final, the last man that made the final 18 years ago was Olusoji Fashuba. Before that final, the man struggled to get kits and had to wear the wrong kits to go and run. 2007, 18 years ago, the same problem. Oh, the kits was, we wanted to, we cargo did. It didn't get to Tokyo on time. Same old thought-provoking, annoying stories. Same with the Super Falcons. Morocco here. Their training kits did not get to them until the final day. Morocco. They will say, okay, if that could happen in Morocco, how much more Tokyo? I'm even shocked that they said some of, the kits are there. These things affect. Ogazi made it to the final in his event at the Olympics, and it was heartwarming because we had not gotten someone in that event for a long time. I think 25, years. If that record is not longer than that. The guy came, said, I don't feel good. And they said, just go and run. You are here already now. Just go. You do not know what it does to the mentality of an athlete. The guy said, look, I don't feel great. I can't do it. That's why I keep saying we mustn't stop talking. We need to let these people know that we must have the right persons running sports in Nigeria. It might not just happen right away. But Kehinde Idris, I'm sure, if I give you this baton, you can run all the way. The problem is still incompetent leadership.
It's as simple. And I think it's about time we declare a state of emergency in sports in Nigeria.
You're reading my mind. That was going to be my line.
The chaos is just everywhere. Look at MBBF. We cannot organize a league. Look at the NPFL. Nigerian football from under 17 to under 20 to under 21 to the Olympics team, go to the female. Everybody's complaining every day. Badminton will complain. The other day, Adigun with our ladies, shocked the world at bobsleigh. The next thing we heard, there is a bobsleigh federation and all of that. What have you guys been doing? It's the same Adigun who started, came back to Nigeria, spotting talent and helping them through the transition level. Everything is just somehow. So what are we doing every day? It's just like a set of people, I'm talking of the administrator, who just wants it to be business as usual because something comes into their pocket. They don't care. And after Tobi posted that video and you want to respond, you said, he made a statement. He said, all other athletes flew economy. That Tobi, on a request, flew business class. And I say, athletes going to represent the national, going to represent the country, and you could boldly say they flew economy. Tobi Loba is an icon in sports today. Go to nooks and crannies. Tobi trains with Glenn Mills. Glenn Mills is the coach of Seville, who is the fastest man in the world now, who won the 100-meter. Glenn Mills is the coach of Usain Bolt all through his career. That is the kind of coach Tobi works with. She cannot be a small sports person for her to get that kind of a trainer. And then you treat Tobi anyhow, and then you treat every other person. Brume doesn't even talk. I wonder what that girl bottles in every now and then whenever she goes to represent Nigeria. Chukwuebuka Enekwechi in 2020 Tokyo posted a video where he was washing his kids because he's got only one. Some people call. And I must say, please, that you see Nigerians who go with some bandwagon information and tends to anytime blame these athletes or our sportmen and women. I tell you today, for every day our athletes wake, our players wake, our sportsmen and women wake, they go to, clean up and go to their several places, whether it's the gym, it's the ring, it's the track. They train, they put themselves in shape every day. And I keep asking, when they do that on their own, you are to take simple decisions to help them through phases and they're not doing anything. But whenever they speak out, you're there to blacklist them and call them names. Favor of Philly is still very much fresh in our mind.
It's a shame, and that's where I stand on this. It has got to a point where if you love Nigerian sports, you just have to speak up. It's a shame. If there is shame, if we still have it, there should be a lot of resignations across board. We should go to a level, and it's sad because it's a reflection of what is going on in the country. It must be said. And if the administrators are serious, there must be some house cleaning. And I'm not saying heads should roll, but things need to happen. If we are repeating things that has been happening for 20 years, and look at football, everybody has moved on. Everybody has moved.
That's what
the
we
next
do.
thing you hear that we have presented a budget for the Nations Cup. That's it.
Simple.
Nobody's going to account for anything. And you said something that I just want to say. If the athletes are putting in the work, we don't expect them to win all the time because that's the nature of the sport. But if they put in the work, do the basics.
Simple.
Do the basics
Simple
and don't make
decisions.
But tonight is not all about the administrators. Tonight is about picking the pieces and of course letting you in on what has been happening. Let's just quickly listen to the girl that has always been making us proud. By the way, and in spite of all the issues, was able to get silver. Let's listen to Tobi Amusan on the show. We come back to talk some more.
It's all good. I remember in 21, I came here and I came forth. The moment I heard World Championship is going to be kept here, I had a PTSD. But then I had to snap out of it and I told myself I am not leaving here without the gold medal. I don't know, but I'll take a silver, but yeah. I mean, it's been good. The journey has been extremely rough. I've taken more L's than wins. And I'm just thankful that I have a great support system, my coach, my family, my mentors, my loved ones, my fans above, not so much. And I'm just out here, going to training, competing, and this is for everyone. This is for everyone who supported me through it. It's really tough. I mean, look at the kind of lineup we have in the women's hurdles. It's anybody's race. I kept saying to myself yesterday, it's not of the swift, but it's of a God to show it mercy. And I kept asking for mercy all day because I worked really hard and I deserve this. And I'm just thankful that I didn't leave here with no medal again this year. I knew I was coming. Good job, honey. I knew I was coming. I'm in a 12:39 to get the silver medal. We'll take it. We'll take it. It could be better, but we'll take it. First, I go to God, my coaches, my parents, my fans, my loved ones, my mentor, Jesus Christ, my fans, in fact, the whole of Nigeria, the whole world, everyone supporting Tobi Express. This is for you guys. This is my small body. I put the whole country for my back. But I mean, this is bigger than me. It's bigger than me. I come out here. It's Tobi Amusan first, Nigeria, and the whole world. But I mean, I come out here and I do what I have to do for myself, my country. And I'm just glad that every time I come out to a championship, win or lose, I still show up. And I'm thankful for that.
All right, lovely video, immediate reaction of Tobi Amusan. That video coming courtesy of Making of Champions. Very emotional, Tobi Amusan, and you know what she's been through. And I'm very happy she was still on the podium. I mean, also we could go on and on. The athletes are emotional. The fans, journalists, everybody are emotional as well. But I just hope this will count for something. Probably this should be the period where we set things right.
It is, I mean, as I said earlier, when these things happen, we don't go back and take a look at the lessons learned. That's the problem, and that's why Tobi did what she did with that viral video, just to remind us that we're still doing the wrong things. Not that I'll get on the tracks now and win and we'll start celebrating it like all is well, you know. So I just hope that this time around, I mean, we will reflect. How long can this continue, you know? How long? NPFL Kudobong did the unboxing of the Saudi Arabia team, what should be in the box of an athlete. I was counting and it was over 20 different, you know, kit type. And then you just one bag for the world record holder that has vest, one tight. Oh my goodness, Turkeys. Even doing the analysis, I'm gonna puke. I don't know, I don't understand the people that have these things together. Tobi Amusan holds the world record. Treat how we prestige, not just Tobi. Brume, let these persons know that they are representing the country. You know, dress them properly. It's like a bride going to a wedding and, you know, properly dressed, you know, look good. And she was saying something important there, that it's not even about that they just carry just a piece of this and that to them. The quality. She was saying, what is even this? What is that? And yet we talk about this kid thing all the time. I bet and I want to challenge the NSC, the NOC, everybody that let me see how we're not going to have kids issue for the Los Angeles Olympics. We will still come here and still talk about kids issue. What is the problem? It beats me, you know. So, Tobi, congratulations. And I said it, she echoed it again. She's a hard worker. I know that so well, you know. And now she picks herself up, the resilience. Like Brume. She had a bad accident in 2024. Had her neck unmasked for, I think, over 6 months. She has come back now to compete. If she had won, everybody will be doing. But I did not say anywhere that people come out to say, this is what happened to our athlete. Top Brume. And this is what we did, and this is what. Nigeria, public relations does a good job in avoiding problems than solving it. I keep saying this over and over again. And I just hope that someday our leaders will understand that, look, we have to keep a legacy. If Olusoji Fashuba in 2007 suffered kids issue, and Tobi Amusan is complaining about the same thing now, then there's a big problem. 18 years after, the same problem persists.
I mean, Austin, I might have to quickly butt in. It has been interesting, must be said. Maybe a bit depressing for you if you're Nigerian, but if you're a neutral, especially the 100 meters, I'm very sure Austin would like to say something about that. It was keenly contested. And Usain Bolt, brought the vibes as well. he supported his kinsmen with all his chest. And of course, one of them, at the end of the day, it turned out to be the winner. But for us Africans, Tebogo, his disqualification was very, very painful. I wanted to see him go up against Noah Lyles, Shane Thompson, and Zeffield, but it didn't happen. But at the end of the day, the two Jamaicans overshadowed Noah Lyles.
That's right, and you said it, confidently. I mean, he said it's going to be a 1-2 finish for Jamaica because he knows the work that has, been put into it. He believes so much in Seville. It's the same coach, that made him who he was. That is also, coaching Seville. He said straight up, it's going to be 1-2, and that's what happened. With Seville winning and then Kishin finished second, and he rightly said so. But I like the fact that Tebogo is getting into the conversation with the 100 meters, but it's just quite unfortunate that he got disqualified, and that made Noah Lyles just do his thing. But it was highly competitive. And shout out to Koinsola Ajayi, ran a personal best in the semis. He's looking good. Israel Okon didn't do badly. Also, these guys are still student athletes, and they're giving the sort of time and commitment and the finishes that they're giving to us. It's pretty good. Let's listen to Noah Lyles and Botswana's Leslie Tebogo right after at the 100 meters at World Championships in Tokyo.
I feel happy. I don't know. I feel joy. I guess the joy of the Lord. It is a crazy year. Injury, rushing the season. There was a lot of points in the season where I was like, dang, I'm going to be honest. I don't feel like I got it. But even like being right after Zurich, I was, frustrated, but constantly having to be in the right mental space, constantly having, the right team around me, and then Janelle just breathing life into me, and my family breathing life into me, and then, just sticking to the word, it's really put me in a lot better of a headspace. Again, seeing some of the best starts I've ever had just in the last week. Joyful, truly. I mean, you got to put a smile on your face. Just because you're going through hard times doesn't mean that you can't smile. I was listening to a sermon once, and they said, happy is a verb. It's in the moment. Joyful is a state of being. I'm going to be joyful. No matter if I lost today, no matter if I won today, the color of the medal does not change the color of my character, and it doesn't change how life is going.
I don't even know what happened, but for me, just being in that final, it meant a lot to me. Even though we hoped we could have run that final, but looking at how the 100 meters has just been this whole season has just been so rocky. It has been a tough mountain to climb, but just being there, it gave me hope that we're still there in the top names. Man, I've been so many injuries that I can't even count at the moment. Just that I'd never published it out there that I'm going through something or I have an injury. I just kept it close into the camp and see how best we can mingle around those injuries and come back into the global stage. Yeah, man, I'm good for the two. The 100 showed me that we are fully 100% okay. With the rounds, how it went, with the 995 that we ran, it shows that there's 100% okay. I just need to go into the 200, execute the same race that I've did in Nanda and I've did in also in Paris.
That's it. Botswana sprinter Leslie Tebogo. Are you listening to Pastor Noah Lyles? And I truly accept and agree with everything that Lyles talked about, because sometimes, because we didn't get the ultimate prize, we don't see the need to, appreciate the efforts that we put into success. Kehinde Idris, we didn't get a Nigerian on the podium in the 100 meters, but it seems there's hope, a very bright one in Israel Okon and Koinsola Ajayi.
Yes, big hope. And like you mentioned, collegiate, athletes, and the already pointers, showing us that there could be light at the end of the tunnel. And if they continue to work, see, this is where we get angry with administrators. Sometimes all these guys need is just to put them in good psychological shape. Help them to not worry about anything other than the tracks and whatever is in front of them. and then they go ahead and be world
And
beaters and deliver. You see, Tebogo is where he is now because Botswana, in fact, after the Olympics, Tebogo got to Botswana and the president, they were all standing and waiting for this man to give him a hero's welcome. Esebrume, in 2020, she got, a medal, a bronze. Nobody. Like, we didn't even, administrators didn't know when she came in, when she went, but she got to Cyprus, where her university is, and the entire school was waiting at the gate to celebrate the young woman. This is what we ask of. And yes, there is hope. Hopefully, the hope is not snapped away, just like we've seen with so many, very promising athletes that we've had. But it's been an amazing World Athletics Championship. And also Noah Lyles is a man who loves to fight, and I'm sure he will fight and come back better.
And, the next 1 year before the Olympics is going to be, it's not even up to a year anymore. It's going to be interesting because we're going to see these guys, especially the top 3 guys that we saw in this World Champ, in the run-up to Los Angeles. Okay, still more than a year. In the run-up to Los Angeles.
2028.
I'm thinking it might still be these guys. But then again, talking about the Nigerians.
In the mix,
if the administrators don't conspire.
In Nigeria, don't happen to them.
To mess it up, I think they will get it. Because you look at Blessing. I don't want us to dwell too much on these issues. When Blessing was at her peak, you could see.
Every day.
She could beat the top contenders on her day. It was obvious.
Yeah.
But you see, those other guys don't have to worry about my kids are not there, the grants are not coming.
Logistics.
They don't worry about logistics. Remember when Justin Gatlin was chasing Usain Bolt? Conveniently, Usain Bolt was out of athletics for almost a year. He wasn't under pressure. He wasn't to the point that Justin started accusing him of trying to dodge.
Exactly.
But at the most important time, because those other issues were laid to rest, he didn't have to worry about them. He came and he did his job, beat the guy. So these guys, that's what we need to do. The administrators. But I don't want to enter the rabbit hole of talking about
the story of Sam Mo Farah really pricks my mind. Mo Farah is a long-distance racer who is who is from the UK. And they asked themselves, how do we beat these Kenyans, these Ethiopians, these Moroccans? He went all the way to Kenya to train. Help your athletes to the next phase.
That's a rabbit hole I don't want to enter. Let's move on the show. It's time to talk about the Flying Eagles. Of course, flying under the radar in less than 2 weeks. They will be in action at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Of course, they're going to have a few days of campaign in Chile as they prepare for the tournament that Nigeria is yet to win, the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. But here is the coach talking about the chances of the team, and is also setting a target. Coach Subaru on the show tonight.
Like we all know as Nigerians, anything short of the past record, Nigeria don't accept it. You may think you have done well, but as far as Nigerians are concerned, the only thing that we call achievement is if you surpass the previous record, which is it's okay. I don't even think quarterfinal is the target now. Nigeria was in final 1989. Nigeria was in final during Siasia 2004, if I'm not mistaken, or 2005. So I think the best result that can bring joy to the country is to surpass those records. And I believe the boys really understand that, and we're working towards it. I believe it's very much achievable, and it's a challenge on the players and the whole technical crew as it is. For people that knows me very well, I don't believe there is any team pressure when it comes to coaching. There is no coaching that doesn't go with pressure. It's just a challenge. And the challenge is the target you set for yourself is what is going to challenge you. So we set a target, and the boys fully understand the target, and we are working towards it. And like you mentioned, of course it will be good if Nigeria can meet up with Ghana's record. Because before they won that trophy 2009 in Egypt, Nigeria had been the one that had the best record in under-20 by reaching the final twice. And eventually when they came, they surpassed our record. So why not? If we can work towards meeting up what Ghana have done, it's still in line. But I don't see it as pressure. It's a challenge, which we are working towards. Norway, Saudi Arabia, and Colombia, yes, they are footballing nation. But they should understand and know that Nigeria is a footballing nation as well. We have respect for them. We know their level. And with that, we are going to treat them. But I believe they should respect Nigeria as well. We are not a small country when it comes to football as well. So we are going to the tournament with the mentality of knowing fully well that they are footballing nation, but we are going to do whatever that it takes for us to overcome. There is no any easy group anywhere. Like I normally say, when they say one group is a group of dead, I say, okay, take us to the group of life, if there is a group of life. That's a joke aside. I think there are no lessons in football anymore. Your preparation is the level of your ability. The way you prepare is the way you are going to perform. So there is no country that is small and no country that is big when it comes to football these days. And you can see it's happening everywhere. Nobody will ever think a country as small as Cape Verde will be topping a group where Cameroon and the likes are in AFCON, in the World Cup qualifier, sorry. So it's telling you that things are changing in football. Cape Verde are not up to 1 million in population, and they are the one topping the group. So definitely, if you think any country is small, you are in for it.
All right, Coach Zubair Aliyu speaking. Kennedy Idris, we have a lot to talk about, but I mean, just a few seconds to talk about Coach Zubair. Yeah. I would have loved not to hear about targets.
Yeah.
And I would also not love to hear about we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I would have loved to hear about welfare. And there's also the issue about the timing of the competition, probably not be able to get the top stars
best legs, yes,
that are in Europe
to come.
Those are the kind of issues I expect to be hearing about.
I think the only thing I can deduce from what he has said is the confidence. If sometimes a coach just needs to pose confidence in his team, and then the team would tap from there and go ahead to do some needful. But what worries us is our preparation is here and our expectation is here.
Yeah,
how doesn't your preparation match your expectation? See, Providence always stays in one corner. Watch your hard work and bless you. Providence doesn't bless whoever does not put in the work. So I don't know, but for the boys, so many times it's always for the boys. If they don't do well, Nigeria will forget them like they never existed. So hopefully they do well and then they break that transitional level.
All right.
And be a big
hopefully they
player.
do well and break the transitional level. Let's move on the show as quickly as we can. Let's talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League. Austin is itching to do that for us. Let's quickly. I'm going to go across in a few seconds to talk about the results as we have them on your screen. And, well, if I was to pick my team of the week, you already know what it's going to be. The Aba Elephants going all the way to Yenagoa and getting that result. But, of course, we start with Abia Warriors defeating Katsina United by a long goal. Bayelsa United suffering a 2-0 loss at home against the Aba Elephants. Talking about Eyimba, Canopilas, and Rangers. This was the kind of game that I wanted to see. You always knew was going to produce few goals. Turned out to be a 1-0 victory for Rangers. That's why United defeated Wiki Torres by a long goal. Plateau United beat Remo Stars 2-0. These are the results. Matchday 4. Rivers United defeated Shooting Stars by a long goal. Warri Wolves full of goalless. Okara United. Korodou City defeated Barawa FC 2-0. Bedell Insurance had a slim 1-0 victory over Niger Tornadoes. These are the results on match day 4. Let me go to Austin quickly. Should I say any surprises for you in these results?
No, not exactly. You mentioned what Eyimba did. That was the highlight for me from match day 4. Going to Yenagoa and Bayelsa United. They've been pretty decent. But Eyimba just needed to prove a point. Remember, I think it was match day 1 right there in the back. They couldn't win. And I think that last game on match day 3 also. So they really needed that win to, consolidate their season, which is very, very important. It's the Nigerian Premier Football League. So I was like, easy peasy. This is still early days, so it's difficult, to say where it is going. But Abia Warriors did just enough to also get back to winning ways. Very important 1-0 win over Katsina United. I talked about Plateau United. The last time you remember, that was the focus of my analysis, that they needed to, show workings against the champions, Remo Stars. And they did just that. They won by 2-0 because they were looking for their first win of the season, and they finally got it. And that's exactly what it meant to them right there at the New Just Stadium. So very important win for Plateau United. Rivers United Shooting Stars was also a game we talked about. The pride of Rivers are now proving a point that they want to go, prove a point that they can actually compete for the league title again, still unbeaten after match day 4. Ikorodu City, where they were in Ibadan on match day 3, picked a vital point on the road, and then they beat Barra FC by 2-0. Bendel Insurance and Niger Tornadoes, that game was one that I also was thinking that Niger Tornadoes can, do something, get us talking, but no, it didn't happen. So, the 2 results for me, Plateau United beating Remo Stars with 2-0, and of course, Eimba going to Yenagoa to pick up 3 points here.
All right, okay, ladies, quickly, any standout result for you?
Yeah, fantastic. It speaks, but I'll go with Kano Pillars against Rangers. There is a reason why big games always tickle our fancy. We want to see the big guys, go up against each other, and whether Kano Pillars are not finding, are not in the best of time, they are still Kano Pillars. And then a stalwart, stepped up to get that goal for them. So right. It was really one of the highlights for me this weekend.
All right, let's quickly take a look at the table. Here you have the top 4. Of course, the Aba Elephants leading the way with 8 points. They're yet to lose after 4 matches. Of course, followed by Rivers United, Warri Wolves, and Wiki Tourists in that order, picking up the top 4. Let's see what it looks like at the bottom of the table. You have, you say early days yet, but you have Kano Pillars, of course, followed by Plateau United, Shooting Stars, and Barao FC. I'm very sure fans of the Oluyole Warriors would not want to see their team in that position. All right, let's switch gears now and talk about the UEFA Champions League, our next port of call. And of course, it's going to be our final shot on the show tonight. Let's take a look at the games that have been concluded for today in the Champions League. Arsenal traveled to Spain to play Athletic Club in Bilbao, and they ended 2-0 in favor of the Gunners. PSV Eindhoven losing at home by a goal to 3. Kade Idris. Some interesting games currently going on. Marseille against Real Madrid. Yeah. Before we came into the studio, Marseille were leading. They scored a goal. But these 2 games that have been completed, your thoughts quickly?
Fantastic. Arsenal, Austin said it in his opener, they need to come back again and prove a point. And since they returned to the Champions League under Mikel Arteta, they've taken a step higher. 2 seasons ago, quarterfinals, last season, semi-finals. Maybe they will do better this time. For PSV, I think this is a shocking result. They are home. I feel they're a bigger team compared to Union Gilois. But Union Gilois also in the last 2 seasons have made their statement. For the games that are ongoing, there's a reason why we call it Magical Night of the UEFA Champions League, because we continue to see magic every now and then, and we enjoy everything that is being given to us.
All right, before we talk about tomorrow, let's talk to Austin for all the updates on the games currently going on.
I'm monitoring the game between Real Madrid and Marseille. Drama everywhere in this one. In the 3rd minute, Alexander Arnold, I think it was an injury, and it was replaced by Danny Carver, who took the captain's armband. Fast forward with me to the 77th minute, he lost his head. The captain of the team, he went and he headbutted Marcel's goalkeeper, Rulli, and then VAR had a second check on it and red card straight to Carver. So at the moment, it's Real Madrid 1, Marseille 1. Kylian Mbappe from the Sports, right after Marseille scored, equalized for Real Madrid, and they're still trying to get back into that one. Benfica and Karabakh, that game is in the 85th minute, and it's still 2-2. Let's see. At 5 minutes ago, it was Juventus 2, Borussia Dortmund 2. As I speak to you in the 86th minute, is Juventus 2, Borussia Dortmund 4. The UEFA Champions League is back. Hear me, so much going on. Tottenham, they're holding on to that 1-0 lead over Villarreal, and the game is in its 85th minute.
All right, interesting times ahead. Let's quickly take a look at the matches to be played tomorrow. And of course, one of the biggest games to expect is the one that will involve Chelsea. Hopefully, we'll be able to put that on the screen for you. Of course, yeah, there you go. Olympiacos will take on Paphos FC. Slavia Prague will be up against Bodo Glimt. Ajax will be up against Inter. And of course, Bayern Munich against Chelsea. Easily the pick of the pack, Kaide Idris. Harry Kane, as his scoring goes for 4, it must be said. But then people will remind you that Chelsea are Club World Cup champions. I don't know. But where do you think the pendulum will swing?
It's a very hard one. Chelsea look like those teams that they turned up when you least expect them to. It begs the question, maybe Chelsea should get other games every day, where it helps them step up. So I'll sit on the fence for that. But there are other games. Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, Atlanta, PSG, Atalanta. I think this is like looking at the ESL, the Europa Super League. We're getting big teams go up against each other like every other match day, and that's why we love the new format of the Champions League. But for that game, comfortably, I'll sit on the fence.
All right, KD wants to sit on the fence. As we go, maybe also we throw in a few seconds. Bayern and Chelsea. What do you think the pendulum will swing as we prepare to wrap things up on the show?
It'll be a tactical game of football. It will be one where strategies will, determine the team that will go all the way. I think midfield work will determine also where that game will go. But Chelsea, I think they love this sort of challenges. They saw them at the Club World Cup. They need to prove that win was no fluke, that they can actually compete on the big stage. Bayern, we know they're a big team in the UEFA Champions League. They're playing at the Allianz Arena. They're going to come out threatening and all that. But this is the early stage of the Champions League where teams seem to be a bit complacent. But I understand that with the mentality that they have as a big team, they want to push, go all the way. I see the game ending in a score draw. Yeah, one that will be very tight, but probably a score draw. That's where I want to leave it. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin O'Connor. And in everything you do, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right, this is a wrap here in Lagos as well. But I want to thank Kaide Idris for his time on the show today. Hopefully, we'll do this again some other time.
Always lovely to be here. Thank you so much.
All right, I want to leave you with the pre-game comments of Bayern Munich forward Harry Kane and, of course, his coach Vincent Kompany. We bid you to enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'm Emre Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
Bayern Munich, there's an expectation to win the best competitions and the Champions League especially. We've done okay in the competition over the last couple of years, but ultimately, if we don't win it, there's always going to be a bit of disappointment. So I wouldn't say that we're underdogs, but you're playing against the best teams in Europe, so there's a lot of hard work from now until hopefully that moment in May. Maybe the Chelsea fans don't like me as much, and when we play Arsenal, the Arsenal fans don't like me as much, but that makes me want to play better. That motivates me. So yeah, look, there's going to be some familiar faces that I played against, some that I play with England. So all those things added, it just brings a little something special around the game.
We have a difficult pathway, but then everything that happens after these games, nobody knows. Nobody knows who you're going to be playing next. Nobody knows what the draw will be. You could be lucky with the draws and get all the way to the final and you've not faced anyone, or you could be unlucky and you face only the big ones. That side of it, not even a supercomputer can figure out.